What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Turbo John. We're working on the race car again tonight. Let me show you what we got done. We had a real good, successful outing when we went to Rockingham this past weekend. We got runner-up to Shelby Lynn in the Pro Charge Hemi. If y'all didn't see that video, go check it out. It was a really good time. Car ran really good. We did have some problems, though. So now we're going to be working on those problems, seeing if we can get this thing working properly. Let me show you what we got. Comment, like, and subscribe. If you've not already subscribed, please consider doing so. It's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. And you'll be able to keep up with this big block boosted Chevrolet. This thing has got some potential, guys. Appreciate it. Hang on. All right, guys. So like I was saying, the car run really well, with the exception of we had a little bit of a fuel pump leak. And I went ahead and got this fuel pump off. This is an Enderle 990. It's like a 13 or 15 gallon pump. Enderle is now out of business, so you can't even get these pumps anymore. But yeah, so we got that one from my buddy Jason Tyson. It is cam driven, and so essentially there's this little spud and this little spacer plate, and it's just got two Allens here is all it holds on. But this is where these things leak at, and it is pretty doggone simple. And you can see it's wet in there now, and essentially there is a little seal in there, and so that seal goes bad, and then it's really just pretty simple to take this thing off. See, I've got to get my snap ring pliers. I don't have them. I couldn't remember how this thing come apart. It's been a while since I've done it. Essentially, you take these bolts off the back. You're gonna take this thing all the way apart. This thing is clockable. Well, let me hold that thing not above the car. Okay, never mind. Got a little bit of alcohol on it there, but it's okay. So this thing is clockable. So this is that little nub that is right there in the middle. See how it's offset? So this is the way you have it when it's reversed. If you need to change it, you take those bolts loose and you put the nub over to the other side, and then it can be a belt drive. So it can be driven this way. But the way we have it now is like this. So you always want to make sure you pay attention when you're taking this thing apart. It's got a number 12 feed. You know, it probably would be a good idea to put a number 16 on this. I've got a number 16 bung. I've got some number 16 hose. We may go ahead and do that, because that will help with the priming as well, I think. But the biggest thing we got now, the biggest issue that we have, so this just simply goes in there, then it clocks in like that. That's the way we had it. And you can notice it is from the outlet of the fuel cell, it is a solid 8 inches below. So what we're going to do, I went ahead and ordered, I went to the metal place and I got some stubs, and they're going to be 3 inches tall. And this plate here is just mounted here, and it's mounted here. I welded some standoffs off the bars, but I didn't want to put the cell directly on that. I wanted the cell to sit on this flat piece of aluminum, so there's nothing in the middle here. So I got some 3-inch aluminum spacers, and we'll drill through them, and we're going to space this up 3 inches. I can't really go any higher than 3 inches because this is where the front end goes. So this is here, so 3 inches is going to come up, and I think it's going to fit fine. I might could have went 3 1/4, 3 1/2. But I think that's going to be okay. But I'm hoping getting the fuel cell up a little bit higher will make it so that it gets a little bit better gravity flow to that pump. Now, is it going to ever be gravity flow completely? No. I guess I need to decide, though. Obviously, when we're taking off, it's not a problem. When the car is taking off and running, it's really easy. Once the car gets running, it's really easy. And actually, we hadn't had any problems with this thing at all. The only thing that we've had an issue with is this past weekend when it started leaking, and I think it was just basically, it was leaking the fuel out of the lines, causing it to airlock. And when it airlocks, of course, then the pump is a pressure pump. It's not really a suction pump, so it's not going to do as good. But we may end up putting a dash 16 line on this. Now may be a good time to do this. We did look at our data, and we are for sure getting us a Circle D converter. That run against Shelby Lynn, we put 4 more pounds of boost on it, but we only picked up 2 miles per hour. And so it obviously is blowing through the converter. Engine RPM was about 7,900 RPM, and drive shaft RPM was at 6,800. So that's about 11% slip. That Hughes was just not designed when I had that one built. It was behind the small block, and it was also not designed to try to go as fast as we need to go. A few mile per hour off of what we need to run with Shelby. So if we can get this circle deconverter, Pete said hopefully we'll have it in a couple weeks. So we're going to get that thing installed, and it's a 264 millimeter converter. It seems like it's really good. Jack with Squirrel Tuned, he's got one, and I've been hitting him up. He's been talking a little bit. They've got some real good slip numbers with a similar combination. So I think we're going to be in good shape. So fuel flow, we had a little bit over 4,000 pounds of fuel. So it's definitely, the pump's good, the injectors are good. It's making good power. The power is not a problem. Okay, let's go ahead and get this fuel pump apart, and I'm gonna go ahead and start taking it apart tonight.
Want to weld buttery dimes like a pro? Enter our Everlast Welder giveaway for your chance to win the ultimate welding package.
We're not just giving away a machine.
The winner will also receive a welding helmet, gloves, and cups from Furic. Plus, you'll spend a full day at Tin Soldier HQ, learning all the tips and tricks from Jason and the rest of the boys. To enter, grab some merch from our website, including the limited edition Dimes Over Dishonor t-shirt, and you're in. Every dollar spent is one entry into the drawing. One lucky winner, one epic prize. Will it be you? Weld like a soldier boy. Enter today. TinSoldierRaceCars.com.
This is pretty simple to take apart. I did find my wife had some pliers. I think these will work. Actually, they may not work. It's not really snap ring pliers. Let's see. Oh, it may fit down in there. They're a little small. Oh yeah, it'll work. So I'm gonna go ahead and snap the snap ring off. Let's see if we can just pull it out. All we were doing was rotating this to a different belt drive. That's all we would do. Let's put it right there. Okay. So there's an O-ring back here on the back. But always make sure it goes back in the way you took it apart. So that just pushes up. Then that just comes out right there. Oh, I may not even have to take the snap ring out, guys. Looks like the bearing is just right there in the front. So the O-ring come apart. Oh, there's my gasket down in there. Or my seal. Oh, these are the seals. I've had a couple, got a couple of them. So these are, they're pretty simple. Just have to make sure you get it in the right way. So both of these you see it's kind of hard to tell, but they are tapered from the side. You can see this is thinner than that side there. Down in the, there it is right here. And then the bearing. So when you buy a rebuild kit, it comes with bearings. So I don't even have to take this off. There's a bearing right there. And then, is there two bearings or just one? Bearing feels good. But if the methanol, if you have a leaking seal, then obviously that's going to be a pretty big issue. But these pumps are rebuildable, like I was saying. So they can rebuild them, put new sleeves in them. I don't know if they actually like take these and make them bigger. So these may be for my old pump. I thought they were the same, but apparently they're not. So we're gonna have to order us a seal kit, because here it is. I can't really quite get to it. Yeah, it's right here. You can see it fits on that shaft nice and tight. I have, in a pinch, taken these and made them so that they are, put brake fluid on them, and that softens them up as a temporary fix. But that's not gonna work today. All right, guys, so I just went in with a screwdriver from this inside edge here and gently pushed up, and you can see the seal is coming right out. So I got it here. So you can see the way it is designed. It's really hard. It's rubber, but it's really hard. Down in there is just brass. So the little spring comes up on this side. And so essentially this thing has to seal on this shaft here. And it goes all the way back here. And you see the sealing surface is down here. And that's where it rides. And so, yeah, that thing is super duper hard. So but that is exactly what seals the fuel from coming out the front. So we're gonna hit Alki Digger up. They're right around the corner from us. So tomorrow I'll order us another seal, and we'll have this thing back together in a couple days. And like I said, I'll probably take this one and I'll put it in some brake fluid for just a little bit, just to let it kind of get a little softer. And then we'll probably like throw this as a spare. Interesting way this thing gets on there. So that goes there, and then this goes on like this. And that's why, if you've ever grabbed one of these and spun it, you hear that looseness, but that's how these things pump. I don't really understand exactly how they pump, but that is how they pump. So that's interesting. All right, guys, a couple days later, we got our seals from Alki Digger. So same type of seal. It's gonna be hard to see in the video, but in person, when you're holding this is smaller than this. So it's like a cone, right? And that's the way all seals are. This is the old seal, and it has a little bit of the cone left, but not much at all. So that's the problem. So I've already cleaned all this stuff. I've already got the bigger dash 16 fitting here too. It's actually a number 12 actually here in the body. The one up top here, that's a number 8, and then it goes up to number 10, but we got a number 16 feeding it now. And actually, if you look at the inside of that 16, it's pretty doggone big. Got us a new seal kit. So this is the new one. The bearings are in good shape. There is 2 bearings in this. I did not replace the bearing because they were spinning very easy. There's one like right here, and there's one here. And if you look at the shaft, the actual gear, you can see there's a bearing here and a bearing here, and then the seal rides down here. Something else that I done, I took a little piece of Scotch-Brite, and I just lightly, with WD-40, I just kind of run it like this, just to make sure that it's nice and smooth and slick. You know, I imagine they probably, if there was any burrs on this, it would probably leak, of course. When you get a pump professionally rebuilt, they might actually put this like in a lathe and, you know, and like machine it down. But you have to be careful, because if you make it go too small, then it's not going to seal properly. So make sure this is nice and clean. Make sure there's nothing in there. A couple little sprays of WD-40. You just don't want the seal to actually get damaged when it's going in, because it's rubber. So like I was talking about the flare part, the cone is going to face backwards. So this spring right here will face back up to the pump. Remember, the pump's going to have pressure in here. So if you put this in backwards, it'll leak for sure. But with the pressure, it should go in where the spring is, and that'll make the seal kind of expand to seal up nice and tight. So, and it's real simple to go in there, nice and tight. And there's a little step down in there, so you just push it down until it bottoms out in that step. And we'll just lubricate this up just a little bit as well. Just to make sure it slides in there nice and good. A lot of people don't like WD-40, but I mean, I like WD-40. There's probably some other ones that you could use. Okay, so there we go. So it just popped right down in there. I can feel it's nice and tight. And then it just slides right through. Let's see the little notch. That goes to the right for mine. So it just squeezes it together. Line your holes up. It's just that simple. And then you put these all back together. I don't know what the official torque rating is on them, but they pop off pretty easy. So there you go. So now the fuel pump has a fresh seal in it. This is an Enderle 990. And so that right there should be good to go. Okay. All right, guys, fuel pump is back on there. The fuel filter is on there as well. Got all that cleaned up, all this mounted back up. This thing really just is really easy. It just slides on. It's got those two little Allens here to tighten up. So that's good. So we got this thing up on the bench. So this is a number 12 and this is a number 16. The difference is quite significant. So we're just gonna put this right here on this corner. So we just gotta make sure that my fitting can easily go on. I'll get it centered. We'll mark this, and then I'm gonna use one of these Unibits, Harbor Freight Special, but that thing works great, and it does a good job. So hopefully that's where we're gonna put it. Could put it over here, but that's gonna be close to the wastegate. So I'm digging like right here, right there, really low, and right on that bend, as low as possible, and I think we'll be set. All right, hang on. Guys, 2.2 seconds later, that fits good. That Unibit, it makes light work of this aluminum. Basically, these have a step. If you're ever welding this stuff on, make sure you get ones that have a step. Some of these have thinner lips. Some of them are thicker. This is a thicker one. So you got to put more heat in this than this. I've got one in the trailer that is a thin lip. And a lot of times it's easier to match that heat when you're going from thick to thick, or thin to thin versus thick to thin. So, but it'll be okay. And then that's going to go right there. So plenty of room to do that. Okay, let's weld it on real fast. Got my welder here, Weld Pro, a little Amazon special. I think it was like 800 bucks or something. So let's weld this on real fast. Got my aluminum only brush. We're gonna clean it with acetone, and then hopefully it'll weld halfway decent. Hang on. All right, guys, well, got that welded on. It does not look the best. It took a lot of work. Down there on the bottom was really difficult. For some reason, I kept dipping the tungsten and it kept blowing out, and yeah, it's not super pretty, but I welded that big one on. So, you know, that number 12. So the number 8s are much better. That come from the factory like that. This is factory up here. Now, I did get a decent weld up there when I put that one together initially, but we got it done. The other thing I didn't tell you guys is I did make sure to clean out this real good. There was no methanol fumes in there. I just took water and rinsed it out. And so I'll do that again. I'll take a water hose and get all the particles and pieces out. And then all we got to do, the way this is mounted, I just welded these tabs on here, if y'all remember. So all I got to do, I bought some blocks. These are 3 inches. I can actually go up a little taller than that. So I also have a piece of square tube. So what I'm going to do is that square tube is going to go right there. And it's going to be about 4.5 inches tall, and then I've got to drill through it. We'll see how that works out. If that doesn't work out real good, then I'll just take a piece of, I've got some 1-inch round tube, steel, and I'll weld washers on them, and then we'll do that. That'll be more work probably. Actually, it may not be more work. We'll see how this drills in a minute. So I guess we're done for the night, and then all I got to do is make my bottom hose. So once I get that done, I've got the hose here already. So we'll have a functioning fuel system, and hopefully that Dash 16 will be a little bit better for us, hopefully. All right, guys, comment, like, and subscribe. We're going to try to go to a track Saturday somewhere. Don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll see y'all soon. Later. Appreciate y'all watching.